Good evening, everyone. Ronald's Adventure here with another ghost story. Tonight's story comes from Spite. I have seen, heard, and felt people and children that are not there for many years. I started seeing and feeling these entities since I was a young child. I was staying at my daughter's house, helping babysit her 7-month-old triplets and the 2-year-old. On multiple occasions, as I was walking upstairs, out of the corner of my eye, I saw what looked like a small child standing at the top of the stairwells. When I would look up to get a better look, nobody was there. And no, it was not my daughter's 2-year-old, as she was at daycare. This happened several times, and after a few times I realized that something or someone was in the house. This is not something new, as seeing and feeling others happened a lot. After multiple sightings, I chalked it up to just another one of those that are there, if you know what I mean. A couple of days after my first few sightings, this little voice in my head said, "Hold on to the stair rail." I took it to be my guardian angel telling me to be careful when I walked down the stairs with the babies. I had just had knee surgery, and I believe my conscience was just telling me to be more careful. I simply followed my head and held on to the rail while I walked down the stairs. The next day, after the voice said to hold on to the railing, I was standing in the kitchen when I heard what sounded like someone falling down the stairs. When I went and looked, I saw my son-in-law holding two of the babies, and he had slipped on one of the stairs and had basically done the splits walking down the stairs. One leg was on the stair up high and the other on the stair down below. He was stuck doing the splits, holding the babies. Luckily, the babies were not hurt. After I helped him, I said maybe you should hold on to the railing and carry only one baby down at a time. I did not say anything about what I had seen or the voice inside my head. After a couple of days, I thought to myself, I wonder if they are still here, referring to the little person I had seen. I decided to set up my phone at the bottom of the stairwell and see if I could record anything or anyone. I set up the phone and thought I pressed record. After a few minutes, I went back to look at what I had recorded and realized I had only taken a photo instead of a video. When I realized my mistake, I switched the phone to video, pressed record, and just as I pressed record and turned my head to leave, something caught my eye, and I looked back at my phone. I looked real quick and thought the light coming in from up the upstairs window was what had caught my eye. After about 5 minutes, I went back to my phone to see if I had captured anything, and I said, "Wow!" I looked at the photo I had taken mistakenly, thinking I had pressed play. The next item on my photo album was the video I took right after. Looking at the video, I saw myself doing the double take, looking at the light coming through the window. That is when I noticed that what had caught my eye was the stairwell lights turning on. 1 second they were on, the next they were off. I went to the stairwell and tried to turn on the lights. No matter what switch I flicked, the lights would not turn back off. I reasoned that the lights were on a timer or some kind of sensor. When my daughter came home, I asked how the lights get turned on, and she said there was a light switch that was right next to her bedroom door, right where I had seen the entity standing. I asked if they were on a timer or sensor, and she said no, absolutely not, that you had to flick a switch to turn them on and off. So freaky, right? Well, check this out. I was getting ready to head back home after my month of babysitting. I had washed the sheets, towels, etc., as my ex was up next in doing the babysitting thing, and she was going to be staying in the room where I had stayed. Right before I started to vacuum the hallway, I put my travel bag on the bed, threw an Eiffel-shaped salt shaker and other gifts my mother-in-law had bought while in Paris in the bag and tossed some clean clothes I had just washed on top, and simply closed the bag. When I was vacuuming, multiple times out of the corner of my eye, I saw again what looked like a small child standing at the top of the stairwell. First few times I looked up and again saw nothing. This happens a lot, so I just thought it was just another Thursday. After a while, I realized what was happening, and I simply just stopped looking. Well, the one time I did not look up, I noticed what looked like small children walking towards me. Right then, I'm like, holy effing potatoes. Turns out it was my granddaughter. She had heard me vacuuming and had come to see what was going on. She had come up just as I finished vacuuming. I disconnected the vacuum cleaner and wrapped the cord around the vacuum cleaner. All the while, my granddaughter watched and asked a million questions. Picked up the vacuum cleaner and I asked my granddaughter if she would show me where the vacuum cleaner belonged. We went downstairs and I put the vacuum cleaner back where I'd gotten it from, the downstairs broom closet. I left my granddaughter downstairs with my daughter and went back upstairs to finish cleaning up. When I got upstairs, the Eiffel Tower salt shaker was in the middle of the hallway, just sitting there. And I was like, holy crap. I picked it up, took it back to my room, and the bag was still on the bed, closed. Trust me, I see this stuff, but I try to rule out my imagination. The bag was closed. It was on the middle of the bed. Even if my granddaughter had gone into the room, there's no way possible she could have climbed onto the bed by herself and pulled out the salt shaker. The salt shaker was under some clothes and they were undisturbed, and my granddaughter had walked down with me. She never went in my room, so I'm 1,000,000% positive that she did not move or even touch the salt shaker. So there's my story. The lights turned on by themselves, the salt shaker moved by some unknown hand. I used to live in Omaha in a 114-year-old home. I heard and saw many things in the house. I started referring to my guest as Ed. I heard him walking the stairs. My dog would look up and visually follow the sounds of the steps as Ed walked upstairs. Many freaky things happened at that house, but the day I saw a black shadow go from kitten, or the kitchen, I should say, and stand next to my girlfriend was the most freaky thing I have ever experienced. I have not seen that again, and I hope to never see it again. I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and as always, if you did, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more, and if you have a story that you'd like to share, make sure you send it in at the link below.